Spending more money on ads too early in your business is more likely to make you go bankrupt than give you more clients.
So today we're going to talk about the organic client flow system, the system we use to make the first 2-3 million euros in revenue in our business, but also the system that we teach 800 clients to help them establish their business during consistent 5, 10, 20K month before starting really scaling their business.
Yeah, and our clients have made more than 18 million euros using that system as a foundation. And I think that's very important. And when I'm looking across, I've always said this, we've just gotten started. The impact that I want to see us create, I'm still curious about what it's going to be. I'm still curious because we're not long into this game. We've just started, which means that when I look across all industries and when I'm looking at business coaches, I don't really see anyone that can provide the same results. Sure, they make money. That's awesome. That's cool. Good for them. But to have a foundation where the stuff that is a secondary outcome for us in our business, to have our clients have that results, I think that's a really big thing.
100%. So the organic client flow system, first of all, it's a system because we meet a lot of coaches who are just starting up. And when you're starting up your business, it's like in the beginning, maybe you get one client, maybe you get 2 clients, but you do not have that consistent income of clients. What you need and what you lack is probably a clear system. However, there's a lot of systems, and this is very confusing to everyone because if you go online, if you go into Facebook or Instagram and you look around and see, like, what does all the business coaches out there say? It's overwhelming. There's so many options, so many things you can do. But literally, what I think I meet the most when we are having sales calls with people and just checking in what's going on in their business, what happens most of the time is that they use systems that probably would work if they were somewhere completely different in their business.
Yeah, so if they had a different result, if they were on another level that they're at. Yeah, because one of the first things to distinguish is that what takes you to the first 10,000 euros is not the same that's going to take you to the first 100,000 euros. And what took you to 100,000 is not going to take you to 300. And what's going to take you to 300 is not going to take you to 900. And 900 to 3 million, and then 3 million to 10 million. It's not a limiting belief, but one of the strategies that I hear people want to use is if I just work hard, if I put in more hours, and if I just kind of break that wall by pushing through it, then I'm going to earn more money. And that only works to a very small extent. So if someone is making 10,000 euros per month and they double their time that they put into the business, they're working twice as hard, that doesn't actually mean that you're going to make 20K a month. It will make you more money, but it will also sacrifice your well-being and your resources. So when growing something, we need to apply what allows that business to grow. And that's when we're starting to talk about scale. Because scaling a business is completely different than growing a business. Scaling a result indicates that you get the same result that you got before, but with less effort. That's one way of scaling. Another way of scaling is that you get a bigger result with the same effort. And when you're putting in a lot more resources into your business, if it's time, if it's energy, and now we're talking about the owner's energy, of course you can scale by hiring team. But if you are growing a business, it means that you're in the business working on growing it, and then you have working on the business to find out the strategies that allows that business to grow.
I get curious about when you say, hey, I am working hard on my business. Work hard on what? Doing what?
Well, that's the thing. Putting twice as much time into my marketing, whatever that is. If it's creating content, right? Twice as much content. Or if it's connecting to twice as many people. Yeah, you're going to make more money, but it's going to help you way less than you think.
Because what I experience is, maybe they do, like a lot of people do put in time, but a lot of people are also confused, what should I be doing? And then what happens is that you go around, you look at what do everyone else do? If I look at social media and I found someone who looked like they got success and I start copying, what is it they do? Well, the only thing you can actually see, like from just like visually out there, in their strategy is, are they doing content? Are they doing organic content on their socials? Or are they running ads? So that is something you can see. And if you believe, okay, then I just need to do more content, or I just need to do more ads, then I understand. Then I believe that if I just make more content, I will get more clients. Or if I make more content and I'm on all the platforms, I make content everywhere.
That's my point. If I'm in more places, if I'm showing up everywhere.
And the thing is, it becomes a lot of work, but with no intention. Like, it's just do stuff, but not intentionally. And that is the problem, because that's not a system. Doing more of one thing is not just a system. There needs to be a strategy or reason why you do that. And the reason why we built the organic client flow system came to when we started up the business. We also did exactly the same, right? We went out and said, hey, what else doing? And what they said we were going to do was, you need to run ads. You need to do webinars, because that's how you get clients. And we started doing that, paying for ads.
Really, you started doing that before we started working together.
So I started doing that, paying money in ads, getting people coming to a webinar, and it worked sometimes, but it also didn't work sometimes. So that meant that on a good month, yay, it was a good month. But on all the other months, that was not the good month. It was all just pain, because there was too many factors I could not control in that strategy. The factor was I could not do ads. I'm not tech savvy. So I need to hire someone to do ads, to put up a funnel. I need to pay for a system to run funnels through. Everything was running ads to one evening. I needed to really succeed, be good on my game, know what to do, and really also have a lot of luck that one evening. So at that stage in the business, because we are not dissing running ads, that's very important. We run ads. And the stage where I meet most coaches, when they're doing below 5K, maybe just around 5K, getting one client a month, or maybe sometimes they got 2 clients, and then there will be months where they do not have it. It's very inconsistent. The thing is, when you're at that stage in your business, you do not have the authority. You do not have a lot of followers on your socials, because you probably just started. You probably don't have any social proof, because you do not have the clients to prove that you're good at what you do. And since you're not getting clients, you probably don't have a lot of money. And means that having a strategy where you need to spend a lot of money and everything relies on one day a month, for me, that was horrible.
Yeah.
It was so scary. It was either good or bad month. And I think that is where most coaches get stuck. They feel they're out of control. And they feel like the only way I can start is I need to have more money to do ads, because there's a disbelief or a limiting belief that the quickest way to make money is running ads.
Yeah.
And that is so far from the truth.
Yeah. And I think that's a part of the problem, that they are out of control. But I also think that it's because of the lack of options that I can come up with myself. I'm going to do what's clear to me that other people are doing. And the problem with when you're looking at a business that is 10 times or maybe 100 times bigger than yours, and you look at what they're doing, it looks like a magic trick, because you can look at it, and it's the same for me. And when I'm looking at like Tony Robbins, I see everything that happens front end. I see the ads, I see the content, I see what they deliver, but I have no idea about the metrics. I have no idea about the behind the scenes stuff. I have no idea how many people who are doing that to make it work. And I don't know what they're actually measuring, and I can't dissect the strategy because I can only see what happens front end. And that's the problem. The strategy that Tony Robbins runs, or the strategy that someone runs that does 100 times more than we do, it's not a good strategy for where we're at. And one of the biggest problems in this industry is that most coaches who coach business owners, they teach the strategy that they are currently using. And the biggest problem with that is that the clients that use it, they're either using it way too early or shouldn't use it at all because it isn't applicable on their business.
Yeah.
That's why we help coaches and not all businesses, because we want to make sure that we bring to the best occupation in the world. Being a coach, like dedicating your career to helping people, that's the group of people that we want to help. Now, so if the problem is that we lack clarity or the necessary steps, like what is the problem with that, would you say?
I would say the danger is that it can be two things: that you keep testing and trying and failing, and you give up. And you start saying, well, it didn't work for me. I can't do it. And it works for everyone else. And you just let go and you give up.
Good answer. Yeah.
And the second thing that could happen is that it works once and you believe that it actually works.
So you start putting more resources into it only to realize that it didn't work. So it's literally better to not succeed, because then you at least quit fast. And then believing that, oh shit, I did something, it worked. Yeah. Like it should work again, but I didn't really know why it was working. Yeah. So I'm just doing stuff again and again and again. And I'm putting a lot more resources into it. And it can be time, it can be money, it can be hiring a team, only to realize that, oh my God, I'm bankrupt. Really good answer. And I really like the first answer as well, because that is one of the things that is the worst kind of approach to business. Like I'm going to dip my toe in the water and I'm going to try this out and I'm going to see if it works. And we're calling that conditioning the outcomes. We can condition outcomes. And to take that to something that most people understand, take it to a relationship. I mean, you and I are together, we're about to be married. And if I were to condition your behavior to our future happiness, so if you behave correctly, then we will be happy in the future, it's going to be a bumpy ride. And you're going to hate me on the way, and I'm going to find reasons to hate you as well. The thing is to go into it with no conditions. So to not add to, if this happened, then we will get this quality. When we're building a business, it's the same thing. We can't condition the outcomes, because in order to get the outcomes, you need to do the exact things that breeds that outcome. And you've never done those actions before. So it would be stupid to say that beforehand that I am going to do the right actions and I'm not going to fail on the way to experiencing that. And the biggest problem with it is that the first time you fail, you're going to find reason to believe that I'm not meant to do this. We spoke about that in our last episode, to build resilience. And what is resilience? Resilience is the ability to withstand resistance. That is resilience, to build up a strength that can allow us to withstand pressure in a situation. And we will fail. But if we're moving in and we're going into to an action, if we're taking action and say, this works, then my life will be awesome. If this doesn't work, I will punch myself in the face and say that I suck. And I will believe that I'm not meant to do this.
So we started up because of these things that we lacked, or I lacked, first of all, something that I felt I had control over, something that I, as a human being, not being a techie, not having a lot of money, not testing a lot of things, but just wanted some things that would work. That's where we let go. And that's where we founded the organic client flow system. And the system is as simple as the words say. It is a system that works 100% organically, because in the beginning of our business, we should not be spending money on ads. Ads is for amplify what already works. When we have the funnel ready, when we know what happens when I get leads in, how do I get them through my funnel so they become clients? That's when we can start amplifying, get more lead flow in, like top of funnel. Then it's a really good idea. But in the beginning, just getting leads in, but not knowing what to do with them. And we believe that if I just get the leads enough in, I will get clients. It's like hoping. It's not a strategy. So the organic client flow system is a strategy that's based on organic strategies, organic marketing, meaning that you use your social media platforms because people are on social media platforms. Your future clients are already there. You don't need to move them to your website. You don't need to move them anywhere else where it costs money for you. Just be where your clients is. And it's so much easier today to be on a social media platform. When I started my first business like ages ago,
literally ages ago. I think it was 400 years ago.
No, it was not. Well, it was 25 years ago, so it was a bit ago. I had 4 businesses, and at that time, we went on fairs, and we had business cards. We had flyers we were handing out. We went on fairs because that's where people were.
Yeah.
You can find people on fairs, but you need to wait for the next fair. And when do you want clients? Well, you probably want clients all the time.
Yeah.
Which means be on social media. So we want to utilize social media where people are, they move, they're there all the time.
When I started to study marketing, the first thing that I remember, my first insight, that was that you need to be where the people are.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? You need to be viewed by where the people are. And that sentence, there is so much value in it, because if we're looking out there, what people are doing to try to expand what they're already doing is that, yeah, I'm going to start a blog, or I'm going to start, well, podcast is also a thing, but the good thing with podcasts is that no one launches a podcast on their own webpage. They actually use the tools where people listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
So that's actually good. Like, do a blog or start a web page. The problem is then we need to take people from where they are and we need to direct them to our thing that we have created. The same thing with starting up a community. I'm going to start a school account. School is awesome and it grows like crazy. But if your marketing strategy is to move them from where they already are into an existing different systems where they're not yet, then you're going to struggle, because like 90% of your marketing is going to be moving them into the platform only to figure out that they're not a good fit. Super, super important.
So the first step is, it is a system. I say the word system a lot. I love systems, but that is what it's really about. Because the biggest mistake when I believe people start up is that they are listening to a lot of advices. What should you do? And I can't stop laughing when I see those posts in Facebook groups for entrepreneurs. Hey, what should I do to get clients? You get 100 different answers from 100 different persons who tried one thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't have results, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Even worse. But it's horrible. It's horrible how many people give advice. Even business coaches who never made any money on their own gives advice. Shame on you guys. Don't teach others what you can't master yourself. It's a rule of life. So the thing is, you do a lot of things, but it's not a system. It's not a structure. It's just doing stuff. And doing stuff will not get you clients. One thing alone will not give you clients. Doing organic content will not give you clients. No one becomes clients because you write a post on social media.
No.
That's not how you get a client. That's a part of a system. It's a thing you do in a funnel to get people interested and understand who you are and all of these things. But it's not a thing that will magically give you clients, just like running ads will not give you clients. It is a thing to wake someone's interest that you pay for. But you need something behind that will turn them into clients. So we do it organically, and it's a system, because the organic client flow system takes care of what do I do before I even do content.
Yeah.
It takes care of getting people to actually see your content, because if we do use organic content in a specific way, making sure that you make content that they connect with, because people need to like, know, and trust you in order to want to work with you. So we connect with them. They see who you authentically are. We do have content that showcases what it is that you do, what you stand for, how you do. We also do content pieces that show proof of what you do and what you say that you do is actually true. And then sometimes you invite people to come a little bit closer and get closer to you, the right avatar that is doing the content. But
before that,
like
even before we do that, we need to gain clarity.
Yeah.
So first of all, we become clear.
Yeah.
Before we become loud.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Clear before loud.
Yeah. So clear.
What do we need to be clear about?
Clear and then loud. So clear about who am I helping and what am I helping them with.
Yeah.
If we can deep dive into that rabbit hole and do a complete avatar breakout to figure out who we're for, who we're not for, and the language that they're using and where they hang out, all the bits and pieces, what hair color they have, and all of it. If you hire a marketing agency and they do an avatar, what happens is that's all the things that you are going to get. You're going to get a demographic of who your ideal client are. With that said, when you have your niche, when you know who you help and when you know what to help them with, their biggest problems and their biggest aspirations, the next step is to look at yourself and see, do I represent a person who helps these people? If I help people to invest in stocks, I want to be, okay, so what does these people look like? And then it's a suit and tie and it's a combed hair and it's, it's not a hoodie like I wear or these kind of like farmer pants or hiking pants, whatever you would call. Then it's a different look. So, and of course, you can be creative with your brand when you create it, but you need to create yourself representable for the people that you are going to attract, that you want to speak to, because they are going to view you if you show up in sweatpants rather than suit pants.
We need to know who we're speaking to.
And then we need to take a look at ourselves. How do I show up for these people? And then we need to build authority consciously. So we need to put ourselves in and showcase. So what do I need to do to show that I'm the expert in this market? What do I need to prove in order to help them see and trust and believe that I am the person that can help them?
And then the other thing is doing the right content to build up your authority and your show your expertise and build connection and all of that. You need to make sure that these people actually see your content. That means you need to organically grow your followers.
You need to build your audience.
You need to build your audience. And while you build your audience, in order to do that, you need to understand, and this is what people can't see from looking at anyone else, that is all the things that happens behind the screen, like all the small things that makes you get your audience to grow, and all the things that make your content in front of the eyes of the ideal person, because all of that is how you work with the algorithm behind the scene. No one can see that from the outside. That is the small things, small tactics you do inside the system.
Yeah, that we add.
That without paying for it, but to make sure your content is shown to the right people.
Yeah, so we need to add the proper amount of work to what we are doing so that it's getting viewed by the right people.
And the fact is, since it's a system, so we need to do specific things to get the algorithm to work. The algorithm changes sometimes. So even if we were saying exactly do this, do this, do this, it's probably going to be different when you listen to this. If you listen to this in a couple of months, there'll probably be slightly tweaks to what exactly you need to do because the market changes.
The market changes, behaviors change. When enough people are doing the same thing, someone needs to innovate because it stops working for like the masses. So when you hear a trend that, oh, hey, shit, this thing is working, webinar is the new, like gold mine, then people are going to run to webinars and they're going to suck that gold mine dry before it hits the like mass audience. So when you hear about it, it's too late. I'm sorry. There was a time when webinar was amazing.
Yeah.
It just isn't amazing anymore.
No, and the market is so different now.
But it takes us further because, okay, so we write content to build the know, like, and trust part of our marketing. And how do we do that? Yeah, well, we measure engagement. How do we actively move people with the content that we produce? So we can look at likes, we can look at comments, we can look at shares, we can look at saves. And depending on the platform, some are more important than others. But we want to look at the difference that we intended to make with the content is actually happening.
Yeah.
And based on all that, we can start to build and grow our following or our audience and the views of our content. And all of a sudden, we're influencing more people. And if I were to give just one gateway to any social media, is that if your content gets a lot of likes, it's likely to get even more likes because that means that the platform is going to realize that this seems to be something valuable. So I'm going to show it to more people. And then more people, and then more people. And if people continue to engage with it, that's how something go viral eventually. But so what we're looking for is engagement, because if it gets engagement, we will have more eyes on it. The next step is then to build a relationship, connecting with people and start to actually spend time with other human beings, and not necessarily for the sake of selling to them. I'm not saying that you should start talking more to your mom because that's going to build your business. It's going to build a greater relationship to your mother. But when you are moving forward, we do not know who is a good fit for our program or not. So we need to connect with people and start paying attention to our followers, the people who engage. Need to start treasuring them because they're literally getting the word out that you exist.
Yeah. And this is a trigger because I believe this point is a point that can trigger a lot of people. Because what we're actually talking about here is reaching out and having connection, chat with people in your DMs, like personal one-on-one chats in your DMs. And there's a group of people who just say, but that's invasive. I don't like doing that and get stuck in, I don't like to reach out. But there's also the group who believes that I want them to just see my content and buy my stuff. That is not what it's about. Because today, if you're that into yourself that you believe selling your thing is about you, you're going to struggle hard, right? Because everything in sales is about relationship. Everything in sales is about connections. There will be no conversion before there's a connection at any point. And how the market is moving is that we need to get in a contact with people.
There needs to be an interest, and then we can build on that interest to build a relationship. And based on a relationship, we can figure out how we can serve our audience.
Yeah.
And serving our audience, we do that as an influencer rather than a coach. because we're influencing. We are a force for good where we influence people to make decisions for themselves that benefits them, to solve a problem that they're struggling with, or to effectively move towards something that they dream of. That's what the influencing part is about. And in order to do them right while you're engaging with the stuff that you create, we want to pay them attention.
100%.
Based on the attention you pay, you're going to build relationship. Based on the relationships you have, you're going to be able to build a business. So here is the analogy to break it down super fast. There are strategies at the top. In order for a strategy to work, you need to have tactics. And those tactics define the strategy. Then there are stuff that define
the specific how-tos.
Yeah, so tactics are how-tos, the things we do, and the strategy is what comes out of all the things we do.
Yeah.
And then the things that governs tactics is the principles.
Yeah.
And the principles are the laws that makes the tactics work. So one of the principles that I can just share when it comes to sales is that every sale that has ever been made has been made based by relationship between either a business and another business, or the consumer and the business who sold something, or between two people who are making business with each other. Even if it's less in some cases, so you can put stuff up on eBay and you can put it up for sale, but then it's not the relationship with you, it's the relationship with eBay. Because there was something that made that person go to eBay. So eBay is doing that for you and just providing a service, and then eBay takes a cut out of what you earn. So everything is based on relationships. So we need to understand that you're not building relationships because you tell people that I have new slots in my calendar. I would love to have a sales call with you. But most of the stuff that I see from people who are inexperienced are kind of like, hey, I'm available. You want to buy my coaching? The price is this, and we're going to start this date. And no one is even going to like it because it's all about you.
Yeah, I think the key inside the organic client flow system is no matter what stage you're at, or like what step you're at in the complete system, everything builds on psychology. That is why when we give away the tactics, the specific what to post, how to post, when to post, and all of that, or chat sequences, what to write, how to do it, in what way. It's based on understanding human psychology, understand that you're here to help, and understand what will make people move forward. And understand also that no one either should or will become clients just because you want them to. It is always because there's something they see inside what you sell. Yeah. And you should never try. There's nowhere you need to push anyone, or you should push anyone, because no one will be happy if you push someone to become a client.
The principle is, if I push, you push back.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I push in my sales, I'm going to create resistance, and that resistance needs to be answered with the same resistance.
Yeah.
So there are principles everywhere that governs all the small things, that all the tactics that we do, and there can be 10 principles that needs to be applied to get one tactic to work.
Yes.
And then below principles, what makes principles work is the essence. And you shared in another episode where you got feedback on one of your sales calls that changed the game for you, where you asked someone for feedback and she said that, yeah, would love to give you feedback. And my feedback is that when we started, it felt like you were kind of somewhere else and not with me. And it felt like you weren't that interested.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh my God. And since then, you've always been that. And it's changed your sales game forever. Same thing. You can do all the right things. You can say all the right things. You can have the right stuff to offer. But if you do it with the wrong energy, it's not going to work.
So that means that we do the content. When people engage, show interest, we start having conversations to figure out, like, understand what do they need, qualify, is there something you need right now? Then we can give them an offer to move forward, and we can offer them to either come closer working with us. That's where we introduce the mini challenges, or challenges depending on where you're at in your business. If you are going to do small one-on-one challenges, if you're new and a little bit lacking confidence and really need to build up some skills in that, or full-size challenges if you can gather a bigger room of people at the same time and sell from stage. And then again, on a phone call, you need to understand the sales principles. We're going to speak a lot about that moving forward, because absolutely, I love sales. Sales is an amazing game, and you need to sell, and you need to enjoy the selling part if you want to get clients in. There's no way around doing sales.
Yeah. So everything in the organic client flow system is marketing until it becomes the actual conversation about, like, hey, here's someone that I can help.
Yeah.
Then it turns into sales. Yeah. Between marketing and sales, that is about 80% of the entire work. Yeah. And then 20% is delivery once you've gotten the client.
Yeah.
When you can realize that we can do this having fun, being passionate, It's not about convincing anyone to do something that they don't want to do, or to actively manipulate or twist something in order for them to believe that it's a good thing. It's all about a commitment to serving the public, the people who show interest. So it's really a service from start to end. So if you're a good coach already, if you learn how to market and sell, you're going to be able to become a better coach, because you can apply the same quality and the same skill set in your delivery. And the last part after sales is obviously delivery.
Yeah.
And when we're looking at delivery, then there are a few different things. If you're looking at someone doing 100 million euros in their business yearly, and you're starting out and you're trying to deliver the way they do, like, you're going to work way harder than you have to. So you might want to start with one-on-one. You might want to transition into group coaching, and you might want to transition from group launches to an evergreen. So there are many ways to deliver. But when it comes to delivery, there is only really one factor that matters, and it's client results.
Yeah.
So the only thing we want to create is client results. The question is, how do I create the bridge from onboarding in my program, getting started in my program, to getting the first real desirable breakthrough or outcome that they are there to get?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of different tactics and principles and full strategies of how to do that as well.
And we're going to close the circle with that, because that is creating a system for your clients to always win.
Yeah.
And just like we created the organic client flow system, you need to have a system for your clients to get from A, where you meet them, to where they're going to be at the end. This is a system. So we need to have a clear system in our delivery.
And what we teach our clients is the same tactics and principles in client delivery that helped us create the organic client flow system.
100%.
So we created it out of the stuff that we are now teaching.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part. Whatever you deliver is a proven thing.
Yeah.
That it's not just a thing, but it has provided you with results.
Yeah.
And then it started to provide your clients with results, and more and more and more. And you developed it until it was a watertight and a solid structure that breeded results for your clients.
It just makes me so happy, because we've had 800 clients going through this system now, and we know it's so proven now, and it's so corrected. And I love when we get in clients who tested and tried for so long time, only to get in. And the first comment we get when we meet them on one of our meetings where we go through the different things is like, oh my God, this is a full system. Like, there's literally nothing left for me to figure out. Figured everything out.
I know exactly what to do. It's just one step, second step.
Yeah, it's just step by step.
And I love it. And the thing that it breeds, to talk to me just before we went into this podcast, can you just share what you got?
You just got a message from a client who started 2 months ago, and she's been in her business for a year and haven't really made any money, and has been in her own way holding herself back, and got a few clients, like very cheap program, and then again not really known how to do it. And she started less than 2 months ago, and her goal at that time when she started was to get to the first 2,000 euros. So I just got a message from her and said, oh my God, I made 6,000 euros. And that is like second month into this system. I had a chat with her like earlier this week, and she said, you know what? I'm so happy because I can relax because I have a system working, and I know the system works. You proved it already.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That is what coaching is all about. By giving away your skill set, you can allow people to reach results faster. Totally. 100%.
Great.
I love it. So let's wrap this up. What do we have on the agenda for?
Well, I just want to say, like, you need to have a system. You cannot, in today's market, make a coaching business work if you do not have a clear strategy, a clear funnel, a clear system that works for you. I would even say, actually, you can test our system absolutely for free. Work with us for a few days. Contact us down below here on our Instagram and say, hey, test to us. I want to test the system. We'll give you a chance to actually test it for yourself.
And what it means is that we will work with you and guide you through a part of the system so that you can use it, apply it to your business. And it will be a standalone thing that allows you to actually make some differences to your business and make it work better without having to invest a dime.
If you want help to grow your business, let us know. We'll show you how to do it. And what I want to say, if you like this episode, if you want more, let us know what you want us to talk about. But make sure you like this episode and subscribe for getting updates on the next episodes coming up every week.
Yeah. See you guys. Bye.